Hey everybody, so obviously a big week. Everybody is super hype. Yeah, we got finally, Brian, the new trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, and we are going to talk about it.
Yeah!
So obviously this trailer lets a lot of the cats out of the bag. There's still a couple of cats in that bag, I think, but let's get into it. We're just going to watch this trailer slowly and sort of comment on it as we go. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
All right, hold on. Right there, I would never date a superhero that flies or swings because I that is a portion of your life that I just cannot get down with.
I will say this, I would rather date a superhero that flies than swings because all he has to do is miss one of those webs.
And that's it.
This thing kicks off, at least it appears pretty much right where the previous one left off. We remember that the
J. Jonah Jameson breaking the story
on the controversial news website, thedailybugle.net.
There you have it, folks. Conclusive proof that Spider-Man was responsible for the brutal murder of Mysterio.
The end of Far From Home brought us one step closer to the previous Spider-Man franchises intersecting each other because the J. Jonah Jameson character from the old Sam Raimi franchise.
I love J.K. Simmons too. He is so great. Like he's the only guy that can be J. Jonah Jameson.
And it was such a cool call, right? And it was that moment where everybody started to think, "Oh, is this possible? Are they really going to do this multiverse thing in this way?" Also, here he says, since I've started this whole thing, I've only had 1 week that I felt like a normal kid. And honestly, if you think about Spider-Man in the MCU, that kid has had a ride.
He really has. And I really like that this is the starting point because I think the one thing that made Spider-Man so relatable to kids and adults is that you never get that feeling of normalcy ever. He got bitten by a spider at 15. So, and he always had this deep-seated feeling of responsibility, and that made him really have to, be a responsible adult as a kid. So he was always burned out. And I think there were a lot of stories that they told in the comics over the years of him as a kid being burnt out from being Spider-Man, but he still has to be a kid. Bruh, you don't start defying gravity by flying.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
So here is
now we got
Strange, Doctor if you're nasty.
Oh, we're using our made-up names.
Much was made after the first trailer about whether or not this is actually Doctor Strange or if this is some other character. People have been dying for Mephisto. Obviously, I'm still not buying the Mephisto hype.
Everyone wants to talk Mephisto. Mephisto is not showing up yet. Okay, stop it.
Is this a legitimate concern? Not that this is Mephisto, but that Doctor Strange is a little bit off.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
I mean, look at it this way. You're the master of the mystic arts, okay? Wanda has started screwing things up.
That's fair.
You're starting to have issues. So, yeah, you're going to seem a little bit anxious and a little bit off. No, it's not Mephisto. This isn't a Doctor Strange from another universe. This is Doctor Strange that, against his better judgment, did something for Peter, and it messed up. Period.
Yeah.
Oops.
We started getting some visitors.
Yes! That was my excitement.
From every universe.
That was my excitement point, was the Pumpkin Bomb and Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, we're going to have to check all the boxes because up first, this is so clearly the Sam Raimi, Willem Dafoe Green Goblin. This is not an MCU Green Goblin. Well, it is now, but
Spider-Man. And honestly, the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin excited me a little bit more than Doc Ock.
So at the end of the last clip that we looked at, we saw the yellow lightning as well. Here is the absolute first indicator, clear indicator, that we are getting not only Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but we're also getting the Amazing Spider-Man, your boy, Andrew Garfield's crew is also rolling up.
That Electro was blue.
I'm dying. Hello, Doc. But you better make damn sure you kill me this time.
And there's been much made about that, right?
I think it might be more of the multiverse. I think that's what it's going to be.
Much has been made about how the character design for Jamie Foxx's Electro in the original Amazing Spider-Man 2, right, was poop. Yeah, but here he looks much more comic accurate.
I love Jamie Foxx. I love that man. He is so great.
So let's talk
what's
about
this? What's up with this, man? Like this kind of looks like Yellow Jacket without the little arm cannons there. Like,
well, I think it's just more of the same, right? He got his previous suits from Stark, and now this Tech. I think is some sort of like weird magic suit, right? Because you see him later in the trailer like doing the magic shit, you know?
So,
and there's all these weird symbols on this suit. So
Magic Man. I did mark out in the first trailer when I saw that.
Okay, so obviously we are super pumped to see Dr. Ock come back. He is such a great character.
Such an amazing actor.
Yeah, loved his role and his arc in the Raimi trilogy. Spider-Man
2 is still probably it should be the benchmark for a lot of comic book films.
I agree.
I need to revisit that movie as well, though. Dude, even the de-aging technology is getting so
They've
much
done a
better.
great job. Yeah, here he looks great.
hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Ock.
Here you have the indication, right, that this guy is legitimately from another place. He knows Spider-Man. He knows who Spider-Man is, but when that mask comes off, clearly, that's not Peter. That's not his
Parker.
Peter.
Right. And I love that. And it's like that. I love that. Hello, Peter. And then I was like, but how are you alive?
What was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
There are others out there. We need to send them back. So,
There's the part that I was talking about, right? With the right.
Yeah.
Let's look at that
Let's look
shot
at that
one more time.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Look in the background of that.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like a blue Electro to me.
Yeah, kind of does. And electricity can go from blue to a yellowish look.
So maybe he does cross over in the form that he was in originally, and then something happens to him here that changes the color.
back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know a couple of magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Jeez.
Please, Scooby-Doo this crap.
Here's our first look at Sandman.
He was one of the best parts of Spider-Man 3.
I think he was the best
Thomas
part of
Hayden
Spider-Man 3.
Thomas Hayden Church he's another one of those actors that doesn't get enough credit.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate.
That line, to me, is very telling. They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate. Obviously, Doctor Strange knows because he knows everything, right?
Yeah, he's visited every reality. He's done everything over 14 million times.
Right.
Dude
so
knows.
He knows that their fate is to die to Spider-Man. Very interesting because he doesn't say die to you.
He just said Spider-Man.
Right, which could mean Tom Holland Spider-Man for sure, but it could also mean any one of the other three, possibly, right? Because one thing this trailer doesn't reveal to us is whether or not the other two are here.
And that's something I don't want to know. I don't want to know until I'm sitting in the theater.
You also have this idea that Peter doesn't necessarily want to kill these guys. He doesn't,
Spider-Man never wants to kill.
And he's also battling this incredibly powerful news story about him killing Mysterio.
Right. So he especially doesn't want to. The death of Norman Osborn haunted Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
Absolutely.
All throughout the series. He felt guilt about it. So I love that they're sort of bringing this back in.
I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
So there has to be another way.
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
I want to point out a couple of things here. First of all, look at that claw, and then look at it in the clip that we just looked at.
It's totally different.
But what color is it?
Red.
Like Iron Man suit. This, I believe, is Stark Tech. And that makes me think
we get another Doc Ock.
That we either get another Doc Ock or this Doc Ock when he's captured. Remember earlier in the trailer, he was in that room.
Yeah.
That he's helping Peter in this film.
So he's
because
not a
he's
villain.
a scientist, right? I don't think Doc Ock is going to be a villain in this film because Peter is essentially the heir apparent to a lot of this Stark Tech. He's smart.
He is.
Obviously, Otto Octavius is smart. They can work this thing out. And now what happened originally is that it fused with his spinal cord and he sort of lost control of it, right? Mm-hmm. But with the smart tech that Stark Industries has come up with, he could maintain control over this now, or it would be smarter and more receptive to his orders. And so I think that to me, it's so cool that they clearly showed that gray silver, the old school one. And now here you have
the red,
this very clearly different one, right?
I love it. I love how the specter of Tony Stark is still in this world. He was so larger than life. Even after death, he's never going away. And I like that.
You gotta take this away from me.
Oh, now that's comic accurate.
And I would point out that in that clip, Electro is clearly firing at Doc Ock.
Yes, he is.
He pushes him out of that building.
And he looks just like his comic book counterpart. And yeah, he was attacking Doc Ock.
You're struggling to have everything you want.
Look at you.
Okay, now, here's the next thing is that second shot of the Green Goblin there is, I don't think, the same character. So there's Defoe, right? Can you see that? That kid doesn't have a mask on. And he's got
Yeah, that was not a mask. Nedford!
Is it Ned?
Maybe it's Harry, but there is no mask there. That I don't see no mask there.
I don't either. And that body type, even that suit looks different.
Looks different. Or he might have just it might just be the light, and he might have just gotten cold-cocked and knocked his helmet off.
Right, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault. I can't save everyone.
That's where we get Evil Ned.
So here are a couple of things that you notice. You have Willem Dafoe talking about how he's struggling. He can't do it all. And then he says to MJ that he can't save everybody. And during that sequence, you see what I believe to be the most probable people that we lose in this film. And that's Happy Hogan and MJ herself, right? Obviously, she falls off of the side of that building. Very reminiscent of the death of Gwen Stacy.
I don't think we lose. I don't think we're going to lose Happy. I don't know. We might. I think, his death.
They teased a major death, right, in this film. And
it's going to be one of those two. It's one of those two.
I believe it's one of those two.
Peter doesn't need to lose another father figure. He's already lost Uncle Ben, and he's already lost Tony. He don't need to lose Happy.
This would give him an opportunity to lose a love interest and a friend.
Yes.
And
that's
I think
the end of his childhood.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
That final shot, all I want to say about that,
Kang the Conqueror and his variants are coming.
For sure. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notifications, make sure you leave us a like, leave a comment. Hey, what do you think is going to happen in Spider-Man No Way Home?
Tell us in the comments.
Absolutely. Did we miss anything in the trailer? Make sure that you share your thoughts down below, and we will be sure to respond to you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Later.